This time, which we usually don't do, we've blocked a bunch of cars in. Otherwise, you would be parking in Maitland. Okay? So when you get out of here, show some grace to everybody. Okay? Thank you.
Welcome again. Thank you all for coming today. This is a very special day for us. This is our opportunity to honor some of our great musicians from Central Florida. This is our fourth year doing this. The first year was Bill Allred and Mitch Bowman. Thank you. I'm getting old. The second year was Jacqueline Jones and Terry Myers, which we have Terry with us today. How about a round of applause for Terry Myers? And last year was Linda Cole and Charlie Bertini. Charlie is with us today. How about it for Charlie? And we have two special people here today that we're going to honor. So we want to move along. We've got a couple speeches that'll be very exciting for us, and then we'll have a little bit of music. And so we're going to try to keep things rolling here. So let's have a warm welcome for Per Danielsson.
Thank you. I actually have notes today, so I don't go off script and bombard you with my really bad one-liners. So welcome everyone to this special afternoon, and I can't tell you what an honor it is for me to be part of this celebration. And before I want to continue, I want to introduce Walt's beautiful family. Candy. We got Chrissy, Casey's husband Austin, and Walt's sister Susan and John. Is that correct? How about a hand for the entire?
Just took half my speech.
I just tried to make it easy for you. How about a hand for Walt Hubbard, because he's also here. Yeah. And Walt, thank you from the bottom of my heart for asking me to speak on your behalf and our jazz community, because this is just a really nice afternoon. And the older I get, the more I appreciate our community. It's absolutely fantastic to be part of it. And I know it would be a lot of love in the room this afternoon celebrating Walt and Carol. Should I introduce your family too, or I'll do that later? No. So I will try to make this within 10. I have strict orders from Greg Parnell that it has to be 10 minutes. But I can already screw it up because I'm talking slower, so I'm going to start to speed up a little bit here. All right, quick timeline, because you sent me that yesterday, so this is kind of cool. Warwick High School, 1977 in Virginia, is that right? Good. Bachelor of Arts, University of Miami, 1984. That's the year I arrived in the United States at UNT. And UNT is in there too somewhere.
I forgot about that one, yeah.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. Well, University of North Texas, that's in here somewhere in the mix. Bachelor of Science at UCF at 1986. Engineer Lockheed Martin, 1986 to 1992, while playing gigs at night. That's impressive. And Orlando jazz scene. Oh, we had Miami jazz scene from 79 to 85, and we got Orlando. Got Miami people. That must be Michelle Amato. Orlando jazz scene since 1985 to present, of course. And so my story is that I first met Walt in 1988 on one of the first gigs I did outside of Disney. And I did a gig that every piano player had to do in town in order to be kind of inducted to the jazz community. And guess who that was with? Jackie Jones. Yes. Bless her soul. Jackie Jones down at Valentine's on Orange Avenue. And at that time, Jackie used the band AKA, but those guys like Doug Matthews that's here today and Mike Avila and Keith Wilson, they were working all the time. So I was lucky enough to sub for Mike. And at that time, Walt subbed for Keith. But I knew that Walt had worked previously with Jackie before, so he helped me navigate the gig, which I much appreciated. But it was good times. It was a good time. I remember that time vividly because we hit it off musically and personally right away. And I was the new guy in town, but I felt comfortable around you. And our friendship, of course, have remained since then. And I was also really impressed that he was working gigs. We were done at like 2 in the morning or something. And then the next morning, he's at Martin Marietta designing rockets or whatever you were doing. Yeah. Stuff that kills people, okay? And of course, he was running his real estate business, which kind of started at that time. I believe that's correct. And but to me and to community, you're a jazz musician, first and foremost. That other side business, that was just like, you know. So when you asked me to talk today or speak today, you told me I can do whatever I wanted. I could even roast you. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do. However, it's gonna be a really lame roast, because I tried to dig up some dirt or some stories, anything, couldn't find anything. So it's gonna be a roast full of kindness, respect, and it's gonna be the kindest roast you ever witnessed. But instead of me standing here talking about you, saying nice things, I was thinking I should reach out to the community and to speak, everybody speak on your behalves. And the comments reflect so perfectly why we're here honoring you. So don't get embarrassed, because these comments come straight from the heart from many of the musicians, and several of them are in the room today. So here we go. And you can guess who's saying these things if you want. And then you get a prize afterwards. If you don't guess right, you don't get this thing that's sitting on the floor here. So here's one. Walt has been involved in every project I've done for the past 25 years, and he's always the first guy in the band that I call. Why? Because all Walt cares about is making the band sound good. He often says, if I could be invisible on a bandstand, I would. Selflessness, boundless creativity, perfect time, and most of all, he swings his ass off. Michael Ross. Here's another one. It's hard to imagine anyone more deserving of induction into Central Florida Jazz Society Hall of Fame than Walt Hubbard. Walt has spent decades quietly becoming one of the finest drummers anywhere in the Southeast, though you never hear that from himself personally. Typical of Walt, he probably rather talk about the mix and talk about the ride cymbals being too bright than talking about his own accomplishments. That combination of brilliance and humility is rare. He's not only a world-class musician, but also has an engineering degree. And somehow his left and right brain coexist perfectly with the soul and instinct required to play great jazz. Walt never overplays, never seeks attention, and somehow always knows exactly what the music needs, which is probably why so many musicians trust him completely the moment he sits down behind the drums. He's the kind of musician who makes everybody around him better, and the kind of friend whose steadiness, intelligence, humor, and musicianship leave a lasting mark on every bandstand he's ever shared. And that's from Steve Luciano. Yeah. Okay, so when I asked everybody to send comments, I think I sent out a text. And he said, just mention one word or a sentence in 2 sentences. And that didn't work. So I have some long, but I have one person that actually followed directions. And I'm gonna buy that person a beer later. Walt's deep sense of feel and time makes him a joy to play with in any setting. Also a beautiful soul and a great friend. Doug Matthews. Doug Matthews, you actually follow directions. That was fantastic. I used to refer to Walt as Orlando's best kept secret. Those days are past us. So many of us have played with or listened to him in a tremendously wide range of groups. He is consistently great in every situation, a pro's pro. He always showed up supremely focused, totally prepared. All of us know him and that know him are lucky to have played with him. That's Terry Myers that's here. Walt Hubbard is a consummate musician. He always plays with deep groove and musicality while supporting the ensemble at the highest level, no matter what the style. And I love this. I strive to be more like Walt Hubbard. Paul Parker. Yeah. Some drummers play jazz or rock or Latin styles, but Walt plays it all and makes every style feel exactly the way it's supposed to. Walt isn't just a world-class drummer, he's one of the musical anchors of our community. That's absolutely true. He possesses a deep understanding and respect for all musical traditions. Walt brings a level of joy, feel and musicality to the stage that lifts up every band he plays with and reminds us all of why we fell in love with this music in the first place. He inspires us as musicians and audiences alike, and we're all better because Walt is out there playing with us, and that's from Ed Kraut. Oh, here's a sweet one. I'm looking forward to when we're playing together again. So many hard-singing times with the sextet. I miss that and I can't wait to do it again. Leroy, which is AKA Rich Walker. And Rich, of course, wanted to be here so badly, but he lives in Portland. But there's a live stream, so he's watching us right now. So that's great. Oh, here's a good one. Walt has been the go-to drummer for many in town, including Per and me. It's a given that as a drummer, he's solid, steady, creative, and swings his butt off. There's a lot of talk about your butt here today. No. But for me, it's all about time, not just in the musical sense, but in the personal sense as well. Time spent playing and creating music with your friends is a gift. And with Walt, the hang is always great. Tammy. That was really nice, Tammy. Did I help you, or did you? Oh, here's another person that followed the directions, and this is so great. If Walt is on the gig, you know everything is going to be okay. LaRue Nicholson. Might be my favorite coming up here. Walt is known for being a great musician, drummer, but he also happens to be a professional landlord. And he's giving me excellent advice on the rental house. I think he gets a similar satisfaction like playing gigs. That's why he has multiple houses. $, $. Guess who's that from? Could be a few people, but it's Charlie Silva. So I just picture this on Sunday morning when Walt coming home from a gig late at night and the phone rings and it's Charlie asking how the toilet is stuck, is plugged out. How do you do this? Where are you, Charlie? Oh, he's there in the back. Every time I write a new original composition, Walt always adds something to it. Dave McKenzie. And I can relate to that too, because we played a lot of my tunes together. How am I doing with the 10 minutes? I'm getting pretty close. I'm okay, Greg? Okay. All right. I have one more, and I think this sums it up just perfectly. Walter Hubbard is a guide. He guides many people through his actions, his presence, and energy he brings to every situation. The first quality, he guides us towards selflessness. When he plays, his only concern is how his contribution can make everyone else sound better, playing only what's necessary to support the flow of the music. The second quality he embodies is love, passion, and commitment. He continues to show us how these qualities can be expressed in daily life, and whenever you hear him play, they are unmistakably present. Third quality is his remarkable lack of attachment to any particular style or genre. No matter the groove or musical setting, he plays as though it is his true specialty. The fourth quality is an internal quest for knowledge. Walt has never stopped exploring new ideas and new paradigms in his ongoing pursuit of growth and improvement. And I think that sums up perfectly. Danny Jordan. Yeah, Danny. See, I got help from all these wonderful people, so it was just interesting sitting home and putting this together. And you know what? My comments are, I just agree with everything that's been said. You're just awesome. You're just wonderful. So therefore, I am happy to present you with the Central Florida Jazz Society's Hall of Fame Award. And my assistant is going to help me.
I have to be careful not to drop this.
All right, Per. You know, some of that sounded made it up. You sure about all that?
You got me. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm honored to accept this today. It's a huge deal for me. Very proud of it. So thanks, Central Florida Jazz Society, for this. Thank everybody that came out. Per introduced the family, but I wanted to make a comment about my wife, Candace. 40 years. So just, I think she should get an award maybe for working, you know, a drummer for 40 years. It's kind of rough. And I want to thank Per and Charlie for coming out today. You might as well get the best, right? And thanks to the Blue Bamboo. I know the Blue Bamboo is kind of home away from home for me, both buildings, but more so in the other building. We had a lot of fun, a lot of great nights there. I guess some of it's archived for later. And Chris and Melody did a great job putting that all together. So, yeah. And speaking of Chris, when I first got to town, paired my first band, rehearsed band, was Chris Cortez's band in 1984. So 40, plus years ago. And they were the young, creative guys in town, ambitious. So that was pretty cool. But I came here from Miami just to play a long-term gig, and it kind of fell apart, turned into a short-term gig. So I decided I'd go out and scout, you know, the local scene. And to tell you the truth, every bit as good as the Miami guys, some better. I mean, the level of quality of musicians here in town is really high. I think we went out on a Monday night to scout it, and there were like 6 or 7. You had Valentine's going, you had the club at Disney, what was that called? The Village Jazz Lounge. I mean, you could walk in there for free and hear headliners, you know. Brazil's was going, Norm Shuping had his jam. Valentine's, I might have mentioned. Anyhow, there was a lot going on, and I met a few people, and I said, I'm just going to stay here, you know? Why not? Miami was getting tough to live in the 80s. So it's been great ever since. I mean, I played with a lot of people in town. Not everybody, I missed a few, but appreciated everybody, you know? It's like not too many divas, and mostly great players. So I just decided to stay. So I've been playing around here for 40 plus years, and it's all been great. So I guess with that said, Per, I'm going to turn the mic over to you and tell us what we're going to play. Perfect. Yeah. Thank you again.
Charlie Silva to the stage. We, for I don't know how many years now, 8 or 10 years, we play this jam session at Pilar's. And we've had, in the beginning of every Sunday, I mean, we haven't done it every Sunday, but we always take the chance to play a trio for an hour. And, you know, sometimes on a Sunday, you kind of, oh, it would be nice maybe to be home and relax a little bit. But you know, when you get there and you play with these guys, it's such an honor. It's so fun, and we've had some wonderful musical moments there. So we're just going to start this this little music section of the program with a trio tune. So yeah, you were far away here. Okay. We communicate. We've done it for 10 years. It shouldn't fall apart today. All right, we're going to play In Your Own Sweet Way. Wow. Tammy, come on up. And Danny, where's Danny? What a handful. Dan Jordan and Tamara Danielson. I told you we're going to be a lot of love in the room today. Yes, so we're going to bring out John DePaula and Dave McKenzie and the John DePaula Quintet. So please give him a hand. Here, that's Dave, and where's John? And Bob Thornton on the piano.
I didn't get a chance to make a comment about Walt. I must have missed that email or that text. But anyway, I do have a favorite Walt Hubbard quote, because for the last 5 or 6 years, we've had rehearsals at my home. And Walt would always come over, and we had such a great time. And afterwards, Walt would actually look at my air conditioner to see what was wrong with it. But, you know, I didn't know this, but, you know, as you know, Walt was an engineer. You were an electrical engineer at Martin Marietta? Yeah. And so I got enough nerve to talk with him about it. One of my questions I had for him was like, Walt, you know, you were an electrical engineer at Martin Marietta, and you probably were making good money doing that. And I said, you know, why did you leave? Why did you leave that gig? And he looked me right in the eye and he said, because it didn't swing. So we love you, Walt. Here's a tune Dave wrote called The Man with the Bus.
How about it for John DePaula, David McKenzie, Charlie Silva, Bob Thornton, Per Danielson, Tammy Danielson, Dan Jordan, and how about it for Walt Hubbard? Let's hear it for him. That's right, that's right. Let's hear it. We're going to take a short intermission, but while we're on the intermission, if you're a musician in the house, we'd like you to come to the stage. We're going to get a group picture of all the musicians in the house. So let's go ahead and take care of that. Come on up. Terry Myers, Charlie Britt. Yes. That's a good one. And we'll be back. Well, welcome back, everybody. We're going to start our second set here. So just a couple announcements before we begin. If you, or how many members of the Jazz Society do we have here today? Okay, we've got some Jazz Society members. Listen, the Jazz Society has been doing some things, and we just had our scholarship contest a couple weeks ago, and I think we gave about $12,000. This mic is cutting in and out for scholarships, and it's really something that we feel really good about. You know, we raise money through the year, and then we have a. Sorry about that. Let's try this. Check, 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 check. Anyway, we have our contest, and each year we're just knocked out by the level of these musicians. A lot of them from UCF and Valencia and Rollins, and when you support that kind of event or a way of giving back, it's something that you can really feel good about. And you know, we go through life and we try to figure out how to be what's the word I'm looking for? Productive or contribute to society. And this is one way that you can do that and feel good about it. And every time you come to one of our concerts, you're doing that for us. You know, you're buying a ticket. But when you do it here at the Blue Bamboo, it's kind of a double whammy where you're supporting the Jazz Society and you're also supporting the Blue Bamboo. So if you enjoy what you're hearing and seeing today, please consider becoming a member of the Jazz Society. And when you do that, you'll be able to leave here with a smile on your face that you're contributing. Thank you very much. So we're going to continue on with the show, and I'd like to invite to the bandstand Mr. Julian Bond. Let's hear it for Julian.
Tak, good eftermiddag alle. What? If he can do his in English, I'll do mine in Swedish. I don't care. No, I'm kidding. It's so good to see so many of you here today, and on a personal note, it was wonderful to see Walt still being as badass as ever. Thrilled by that. And yes, I have made notes because you guys know that I could probably talk for half an hour and go down so many rabbit holes. It would be horrible. When Carol asked if I would do this and introduce her, I was truly, truly thrilled to have been asked. And to fully convey why this is such an honor for me, I have to go back a few years, specifically to Miami, because Carol was born in Miami. Yeah, it's two of you, good. Carol showed a fascination for the piano around age 2, started lessons at 4. So I think you're now understanding where some of this comes from. Now, fast forward a few years, Carol graduated with a master's degree from the University of Florida. And then moved to Switzerland. Because why wouldn't you? I think that's where her love of traveling may have been born. I don't know. But certainly, and Carol, for a while, lived in Europe and Asia. And during that time and beyond, she has performed all over the world. And when I say all over the world, I don't just mean 1 or 2 places that surround the globe. I mean all over the world. In fact, Carol has also performed on cruise ships, probably because she ran out of countries to visit. She will be doing a debut solo on the moon sometime this year. I guarantee it. I mean, really, it's quite an impressive lineup. And that lineup, in fact, includes the Montreux Palace at Switzerland, the Oasis Lounge at Hong Kong, Century Court in Tokyo, Kennedy Center in DC, but the creme de la creme, the Guildford Guildhall in England. Right? Yeah. A 17th century listed building right there in England, they don't just let anybody play there. You've got to be really, really good. What's that? No, I haven't played. Shut up. So eventually Carol landed at Disney World in 1990, and 8 years later was when I met her for the first time. That was when I landed at Disney World, and one of the first things I did was I visited, you'll remember, Pleasure Island, and I went to the Comedy Warehouse. Great. Yeah! Glad you still remember it. It was a fabulous place, and as funny as the improvisers and the actors were, I was really struck by this young lady playing the piano. Because I will tell you, any suggestion, any style, anywhere the actors went, Carol went with them. She didn't even flinch. And I was just astonished. I was like, I know this wasn't rehearsed, but my God, that's amazing. And as I came to find out later, this is just one of her specialities, improv. And 28 years later, I've never seen her stumped. I literally have never. Now, I don't think it's possible. Any tune, any style. But here's the thing. As an amazing improvisatory pianist, she's also a master of classical and jazz repertoire, too. She doesn't just improvise. She's pretty cool. And, you know, the level of creativity that she has, it's not surprising that she is also an accomplished composer. She has written many of her own works. In fact, she has performed with the Space Coast Pops, her own works. And to further illustrate her comfort with an orchestra, she has performed with the Jacksonville Symphony, performing works of Marvin Hamlish. Good taste. But for a change of pace, for several years, Carol was the Hat Lady at the Rose and Crown pub in the UK Pavilion at Epcot. Yep, sitting at a piano playing songs about beer and shepherd's pie. With just as much technical mastery as any of those other performance outlets, I tell you. And the audiences love her. And I was honored a few times to actually sit in for her when she had a well-deserved day off. And I got to sub for her. And I've got to tell you, it's bloody hard work. I mean, keeping those people entertained like she does, and she seems to make it look effortless. And I did it a few times, but to be honest, Carol, I would much rather just pull up a chair, grab a pint, and listen to 2 or 3 of your sets. It's so much more enjoyable for me. Now, as a great soloist as Carol is, she has maintained always that her passion is making music with others. In fact, her quartet, which features Eddie Marshall, Charlie Silver, Barry Smith, has been going for 25 years. Is that right? 25 years, I believe. 30 years now. 30 years as a quartet. Listen, let me tell you, you don't stay for 30 years as an ensemble without mutual love and respect for each other. And of that, there is plenty. And it's hard not to feel that way about Carol. Carol is one of the most giving and generous musicians that I've ever known. I will tell you that Carol can take center stage without upstaging anyone. And now with Carol's reputation, she could be forgiven if she did. I mean, it's Carol Stein, ladies and gentlemen. The resident pianist at Epcot, I might well add. But, you know, upstaging people is not Carol. That's not what she does. Sharing the stage with Carol in any kind of musical capacity, I would say, is like getting an enormous musical hug. She makes sure that everyone feels good. That's just the Stein way. An 8-minute setup for that gag. So good. And that's really, that's the impact that Carol strives to create. She has a passion for making the world a better place, and she does that in more ways than most people will know. Carol will not brag about her charity work. So I'm going to do it. Because on top of all those creative outlets, she has found time to devote herself to organizations like the Jewish Pavilion, Hadassah, Jewish Family Services, Give Kids the World. And I don't mind revealing, and I've never told Carol this, but someone very, very close to me has had their life changed because of the investment that Carol has given to one of these organizations. That is just one more reason I adore her. Now, you know, with all this in her legacy, Carol could have stopped right there, and the world still would be a better place because of what she brought to it. But Carol had a dream to be a Steinway artist. And yeah, I can see that. Well, recently that dream came true, and Carol is now a lifetime board member with the Steinway Society. For those of you who don't know, the Steinway Society is an organization that provides pianos and piano lessons to disadvantaged youth. And Carol has in fact performed concerts to raise money for them. You know, Carol has said, music brings people together, and that's always been what drives her. Now, as someone who has toured the world and continues to do with Lee, her husband, she has absorbed a rich tapestry of languages, culture, and music. Her recounting of stories and experiences kind of almost make you feel like you were there with her. And when you spend time with Carol and she tells you about the things she's done, it's not because she wants to gloat, it's because she desires to share the joy and sense of awe that she has felt in those situations with the people who are listening to her. And try and get a little bit of that experience in their hearts too. You know, Carol loves people, and people love her. So now I hope you understand why it is such an honor to introduce Carol to receive this recognition. Carol, I gotta tell you, not only are you a wonderful friend, but you are also a musician who I have deeply respected and admired for 28 years. I'm still hugely intimidated by you, but I love you deeply. And I will continue to do so for 1,000 years after I'm dead. So, ladies and gentlemen, it truly is my privilege to welcome to the stage to accept this prestigious recognition, Carol Stein.
Once again, Carol Stein.
Oh, wow. Before I start, I have to show you something that Michelle Mayo and Steve Pernick gave me when I walked in. It's so not me. What were they thinking? I am so overwhelmed right now. I'm so honored, truly. Being born in Florida, I know the three of us that were born in Miami. Debbie, were you born in Miami? My cousin Debbie came up, Debbie and Norton. Yeah. And when you have a passion in life, it's such a wonderful feeling to be able to use it. But it's even more wonderful when you share it. And I'm really deeply fortunate I get to share it with a husband who appreciates it and supports me and is always there, Mr. Lee Wolfson. It's not always easy for a partner when you have someone that's so devoted to this passion and in this spotlight like this. And it takes a very secure, kind, giving, and wonderful human being to do that. And I'm so lucky that I get to share today with him. I was raised right here, and I'm also supported by the most amazing friends. Half of my junior high and high school's here today. South Seminole Middle School, Lyman High School Greyhounds. I even got to accompany Danny Jordan when we were in high school. He went to Oviedo High School. I was accompanist for his solo on the saxophone. That's how long we've known each other. But I was really the most fortunate person. I think you saw some of the photos from the very beginning. My mother and father, Betty and Danny Stein. Most people knew them, and they loved everybody. My mother was a musician. She was a trumpet player, and she went to New England Conservatory of Music. And her mother, I never heard her play, but was a concert classical pianist. I never knew that. And her sisters all played saxophone. You saw that one picture of these women playing in it was an all-women jazz band back in the 30s. Those are my aunts playing the trumpet and the saxophone, and they all played violin, and they were adagio dancers. That wasn't me. My grandmother was born in Russia, but raised in London, Julian. And she had a love of the culture and the arts. And she brought that to my parents, to my mother's home, and my mother brought it. And my father would just sit there with a big smile, and he would just gleam, and it was wonderful. And my brothers both played trumpet, but my older brother is tone deaf. Sorry, Steve. And growing up here, does anybody remember Bandwagon? Molo? And yeah, and they would come to Lyman, and they would help us and encourage us. And I did study here with Catherine Carlo. She was the pianist with the Florida Symphony at the time. Her husband was Alphonse, the concertmaster. And she was my classical pianist. And I would take Beethoven and kind of make it swing. And she'd say, "You're never going to be a musician." And then I like to mix classical and jazz together, but I wanted to make sure that I had a profession. We're at the age where women wanted to make sure they were supportive. So I did go to University of Florida, and I got a master's in dental science. And I was a dental hygienist. And at the same time at University of Florida, I got to play in the jazz band. And Ed Kraut, I met Ed Kraut there. And I learned a lot from Ed Kraut. I did. And I was accompanied, that's how I put myself through school. I accompanied everybody. And if anybody ever asked me to play another Hindemith trombone solo or trumpet solo, it's really a piano concerto with trumpet accompaniment, what it is. But it gave me the opportunity to mix my music and dentistry. And I did a master's thesis on special dental considerations for musicians. And what we did was we did dental exams on all the musicians for free. And the biggest issue with musicians in dentistry is they can't afford to go to the dentist. So I worked with a project that tried to solve that so that they could have dental care. And I had a trombonist as a patient, and he did lose his teeth to periodontal disease and lost his profession, and it profoundly affected me. So I made sure that musicians could have the opportunity to take care of their teeth. And as a dental hygienist, I got to go to Switzerland. I moved to Switzerland as a hygienist. And I was working there, and they're very strict about work permits. But I used to sit in just to play in a little place called the Splendid Piano Bar. And I was playing there one night, and a man came up to me. He says, "You don't have a permit." I said, "Oh, I'm just sitting in." And he says, "You're not allowed to do that." So this other gentleman came up to me and said, "I'm a music agent. I can book you for 2 years all around Europe. Would you like that?" And I said, "Let me clean teeth or play piano." Okay. So after 4 years as a hygienist, I ended up traveling. I had the very good fortune to play 3 months in Norway and 3 months in Germany and then 3 months in Hong Kong and Tokyo at the Playboy Club. That was fun. I did not wear a bunny suit, but they did. And then I was 3 years in Hong Kong, just loved it. And I'd always go back to Zurich. It's my second home. And we're going to go back actually this year. And I really did appreciate being able to learn cultures. And I was in Moscow one time, and there was a jazz band, and I sat in with them, and they didn't speak English, and I didn't speak Russian, but we just said, "Blue bossa? Okay." And we played, and it was just fabulous. So just traveling around the world, and Facebook is so wonderful because you can keep in touch. And I recently, 2 years ago, went back to Norway on a cruise, and the drummer I had played with back in 1991 was still there. And we got to spend the day with David, the drummer, in Haugesund, Norway. And we went to Sweden too. And actually one time Lee and I got to visit Per and Tammy, and when we were over there in Sweden, that was good. So I'm very fortunate. My husband does love to travel too. And then Disney brought me home. I was living in Hong Kong, and they said, we want you to go full-time at this place called the Comedy Warehouse. And I had the amazing good fortune to meet people like Stephen Pernick, who is here today. One of the most intelligent, creative, talented individuals, writer, comedian, actors you'd ever meet. I learned so much in music and improv by working at the Comedy Warehouse. It was an experience I can barely begin to explain to you how much it affected me, and I just absolutely loved it. And that lasted, I played with them for 18 years, and then Pleasure Island closed. No. And then I became the hat lady in a British pub. The description of the gig was an American woman, a flamboyant American woman who travels around the world, plays music. I didn't think I should go out for it, but I tried. And again, so what I didn't know pub songs. I learned 10 pub songs. I made a hat, and I went in there and I sang, "My old man stood to follow the van," and I got the gig. And I've been so very fortunate. And then there's Rosie O'Grady's. Everybody remember Rosie O'Grady's? That's where I met Terry Myers. And that's where I met Charlie Silva. We played in the world-famous banjo band. Not one, but 2 banjos. Lee Floyd was on banjo, and Johnny Byron was on banjo, Charlie Silva on bass, and I was on a little keyboard that I had to buy, about a little M1. And again, being with those musicians, I learned so much playing at Rosie O'Grady's. They were the best. They still are. They're here in the room. And best part is I get to share my music doing things for the world. Now, somebody said there's no divas in this room. Michelle Amato, Michelle Mayo, Susie Park. But they are the most heart-giving. They have the right to be called divas. You know, you hear the word chick singer. Hey, what key do you play it in? Siesta key? And no, if you say to Michelle Amato, what key do you do? She knows her key. If you're playing a gig, Michelle Mayo might say, can you add a 13th there? No, I really want you to do a diminished 7th there, please. And, she will. They are musicians, and their instrument is their voice. And Susie Park, oh my gosh, if you want someone to do a ballad that makes your heart wrench. And I get to work with all of them. August 9th, we're doing the Diva concert again, but this year I get to do it with Julian Bond and Michael Mastroianni. It's going to be all pianos. It's Divos and Diva. But these women are not just divas. They give of their time, and they have helped the Steinway Society, which is very dear to my heart. And it makes the world a better place when children have music. And I'm very honored, and I think I'm talking too long, so I'd like to welcome the guys to the stage so we can play. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Central Florida Jazz Society. I'm overwhelmed. Thank you. If you ever had the feeling of being intimidated in performing in some of the world's best musicians, this is it. This is really, yeah, it is. Well, this first song, the guys have never played because I wrote it this week. So I sat there with my iPhone and I kind of played it. I said, here guys, here's the chart. That's because that's who they are. Please welcome Paul Parker and Charlie Silva. Okay, this is the world premiere of this song. Oh, Charlie wants to know what it is. It's called the Central Florida Jazz Society theme song. Do you have it? No, there's 5, but we'll probably only end it here. I'll send it to you, Charlie. Huh? Okay, airdropping. I had 5 tunes. Okay, let's see. Let's get on. Talks amongst yourselves. So did you hear the one about... Yeah. Okay, general. Airdrop. Make sure we have... You have all your contacts on for everybody for airdrop, Charlie? Yeah. Okay, good. So we're going to go back here. We're going to get an airdrop to Charlie. Share. Annotated so you know where the repeats are. Huh? Oh, this is a great age we live in. Let's see if we can find it. Charlie Silva, there you go. iPads. You got it? Now he's really never seen it. Did you get it? Yes. Okay, it's a swing tune, Charlie. We're going to do a swing tune. It's called the Central Florida Jazz Society theme song. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Central Florida Jazz Society keeps the music swinging in our community. The melodies and harmonies and syncopated beats, the tapestry of sounds, they're oh so sweet. Now every kind of note that touches your soul, ragtime to Dixieland, let the good times roll. Blues or bebop or Latin or swing, the luscious sultry ballads that make your heart sing. Scholarships, the pillar and supporting education, volunteers with spirit and total dedication. Mentoring and programs, the soul of jazz will thrive. Members so encouraging to keep the love alive. Central Florida Jazz Society keeps music swinging in our community. Melodies and harmonies, syncopated beats, tapestry of sounds, they're oh so sweet. Central Florida Jazz Society keeps music swinging in our community. The melodies and harmonies, the syncopated beats, the tapestry of sounds, our own the Jazz Society is oh so Yay! Sight reading while you wait. Give it up for these guys reading this tune. Can I have a little more vocals and piano in my monitor, please? Thank you. So many of you know my passion for Disney. I've lived here since before Disney opened. My father built homes for people who built Disney. And I've been performing there for 36 years. And I still love it so very much. And I thought, well, let's mix the two together. So this is an arrangement. Oh, Charlie, do you have Winnie the Pooh?
I do. Yes.
This is just my little version that an arrangement of Winnie the Pooh.
The baby said hurry up.
100-acre woods where Christopher Robin plays. You'll find an enchanted neighborhood of Christopher's childhood days. A donkey named Eeyore is his friend, and Kanga and Little Roo. There's Rabbit and Piglet, and there's Owl, but most of all, Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh, tubby little cubby all stuffed in fluff. Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh, willy-nilly silly little bear. Deep in the 100-acre woods where Christopher Robin plays, you'll find an enchanted neighborhood of Christopher's childhood days. A donkey named Eeyore is his friend, Kanga and Little Roo. There's a dog and then there's Owl. Most of all, Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh, tubby little cubby all stuffed and fluff. Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh, willy-nilly-dilly all day. One, two, three, four. We love you, Winnie the Thank you. Okay, we're going to do just two more, not three more, because time is what time is. This is a tune called Semantics, and it's on the Jazz Lady CD, which Charlie is on. Yeah, and it featured bass back at that time. It was really long. It was like this big 8-minute thing. We're not going to do that. But I wrote it for a gentleman named Sam Fagerly. Do you remember him, Ed? So he was a saxophonist at University of Florida, and I was just mesmerized. And he ended up becoming a professor at somewhere up in the Midwest, and he just had this amazing, I'd be practicing till 1 or 2 in the morning because I'd finish all my dental courses, and then I'd go practice, and he was up there every night, just practicing and practicing. So this is called Sam-Antics, Semantics. All right. Semantics, Paul Parker on drums. Thank you. So much fun. Well, we were going to do a ballad, but we're not because its time is getting toward the end. But I didn't know we could have other people playing horns, so I asked Dave McKenzie if he'll come up and play my last song with me. Yay! Dave McKenzie is another one of those, oh my gosh. His arrangements are just out of this world. Just absolutely brilliant. Anytime you see Dave on the stage, you're like, wow. And before I go, before this song, I have to thank Julian Bond. You may know him and you may not. He is one of the most prolific composers and arrangers and pianists and a magician. Woo. I've never been intimidated by anybody performing together. He and I have done concerts together. He's simply brilliant, humble and brilliant, and I love him. Thank you, Julian. Okay, we're just gonna have a little fun. This is a tune called Lullaby of Birdland. And George Shearing, composer, he used to do what I like to do. I probably learned it from him. He takes jazz and classical and mixes it all together. So we don't know where this is going to go, but here we go. We're going to start with just Charlie and I, though. That I do know, just Charlie and I. And then the rhythm can come in at B or something like that. Start me off, Charlie. Give me any kind of thing you want.
What kind of key do we have?
A minor.
Oh, yeah.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Lullaby of birdland, that's what I always hear when you sigh. Never in my wordland could there be ways to reveal in a way how I feel. Have you ever heard two turtle doves feel and coo when in love? That's the kind of magic music we'll make with our lips when we kiss. There's a weeping old willow, he really knows how to cry. That's what I do in my pillow. If you should tell me farewell and goodbye, a lullaby birdland, now whisper low, kiss me sweet, and then we'll go flying high to birdland, up in the sky above. We're in love. Dave McKenzie and Charlie Silva.
Lullaby Birdland, that's what I always hear. And when you sigh, and never can a woodland could there be ways to be feared. In a way, how I feel. Have you ever heard two turtle doves, Bill and Coo, when in love? That's the kind of magic music will make with our lips when we kiss. There's a weepy old willow, he really knows how to cry. That's what I'll do in my pillow. You should tell me farewell and goodbye. Lullaby Birdland, whisper low, kiss me sweet, and then we'll go flying high to Birdland, up in the sky above. I'll say Birdland, Birdland. I said Birdland. We're in love. Charlie Silva, Dave McKenzie, Paul Parker.
How about it for Carol Stein? Let's hear it for her. Carol Stein. Once again for Walt Hubbard. Thank you so much. Two things before you leave. The Blue Bamboo is celebrating 10 years. On June 28th, we've got a concert here. It's the 10-year anniversary of the Blue Bamboo. We have it with the Orlando Jazz Orchestra, which opened both venues. So we hope to see you here for that, for an exciting show. And for the Jazz Society, July 26th, we're going to showcase our recent scholarship winners. So a very exciting show. Thank you for your support. One more thing.
There's CDs for everybody, not to buy, just to have. There's the jazz band CD of us, and then a solo, very romantic, elegant, just piano music. And if you want one, they're all there. Just take one.
Have a great afternoon. Thank you.